Okay, so what you guys are going to be doing, is you are going to be working together as a group, and you're going to be recreating a story, and it's going to be inspired by the story, The Three Little Pigs. Okay, so you're going to have 4 characters, you're going to have a villain, and 3 good guys. Okay, so, and do you guys know what that would be called in a story? The 3 little. Okay, the 3 little pigs. Well, Miss Hughes is going to tell us the correct vocabulary words for that. And so you're going to have to write the story and also illustrate the story. Okay, and then when we've completed the story, you can perform a skit. Okay, so you know what a skit is? So it's a performance, right? All right, so you can work in it as a group of 4. So you would have 3 characters that would portray something like the 3 little pigs, but they're not pigs. You don't recreate the pigs. And then you would have the villain, okay, or the bad guy. All right? So let's connect with Miss Hughes and see if she can help us with our project, okay? Since she has, she's a language arts teacher as well as our librarian here at school, okay? So would you? Hi.
Oh, I can't see you guys yet, but hello.
Hey, let us try again, okay?
Okay.
That's awesome. Oh, hold on.
You have to close tabs. It says close tabs. Like Miss Keisha?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, there you guys are.
Hi.
Hi. So you guys are getting ready to create your own stories with illustrations? Yes, I see you able to be in the background.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, now that I've got your attention.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I know you guys, how many of you guys have written stories before? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, there are very important things, put your hands down now, there are very important things you have to have in a story. We know that we have to have good guys or protagonists, bad guys or antagonists. You've got to have a setting where it takes place, a problem that they have to solve, a climax where everything is put together, and then a resolution where everything is how it should be. Now, I know you guys are going to do a story in groups, a lot like the 3 little pigs. Is that, am I right in assuming that? Yes? Let me hear yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now, if you remember in the 3 little pigs, you had 3 good guys or antagonists, but all of them separately could not actually accomplish what they needed to. They had to actually do it as a group. So you know you had one that was weaker than everybody. Then you had that one that was a little bit stronger, and then you had the other one that was the strongest. And the 3 worked together at the very end to fix their problem. Now, raise your hand and tell me if you remember what the problem was in the 3 little pigs. All right, Alex, I see you bright and shiny. What was their problem?
They were, the wolf was destroying their houses.
The wolf was destroying their houses because he wanted dinner. Am I right about that? He wanted dinner and he wanted to eat them?
Yes.
Okay. Your story does not have to be the same. It just has to have 3 good guys that have to work together to accomplish whatever task and 1 bad guy. It doesn't have to be a wolf who needs to eat somebody. It could be 3 completely different things. So it doesn't have to, they all don't have to be the same. So just like in the 3 little pigs, there were 3 pigs. They all don't have to be pigs. But what you have to do is have 3 characters or good guys that actually work together to defeat the 1 bad guy. Are there any questions at all?
Okay. So when you're
What do you want back there, Ms. Pike?
all right. Yes, check.
Oh, are we doing this project right now?
Well, we will, yeah, in a little bit, yes. So,
I'm just helping you guys go up to the introduction to make sure you're ready for the project.
right.
You can.
So let's just talk about the project, this project, okay? So whenever we do this, we'll also be illustrating the story, right? So this is the part that connects to me. You illustrated why the chicken crossed the road. So to prepare for that illustration, you had to write come up with your solution to why the chicken crossed the road, and then you had to illustrate that solution. Whenever you started to illustrate that, when you looked at your illustration, your rough draft, could you see the story in your illustration? Does that describe what an illustration is? Is an illustration a visual description? Yes. So with this project, not only will you be writing the story, but you'll also be illustrating the story. And together with your group, yes.
It would be like you are telling, like once you write your story, you're there going to tell your story in pictures. So you can look at drawings or illustrations and you can still tell the story without there being words.
Right. And you see that in books as well. Yeah. And picture books. Yeah, and that's visual literacy. Yeah. Yep.
Are there any more questions for me?
Yeah. Does anyone else have another question for Ms. Hughes? Okay.
Now what your assignment is, because I can't wait to see them all. Oh, I see one back there. Tell me.
Yes. Yes.
And when you draw it, does it have to be like the same thing? Like if you draw like a different person other than the pig.
You mean the same thing by the same story, like the Three Little Pigs story, the same thing by what you're saying the story is?
No, like one wolf.
No, you don't have to create the 3 little pigs and the wolf. You just need to create 3 characters.
I know that.
And then
I know what she's saying. What your pictures are going to be about the story you're writing. So if you're writing a story about 3 characters and something that they love is each of the shirts that they wear, and you put that in your story, you should make sure they're wearing what you say that they're wearing in your story.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what we're getting? Okay.
Yeah. You had somebody over. I don't know if you can see it. Can you step over here?
I see a hand, but that's it.
Okay. So if it's an animal, so we have to draw the animal and whatever they have to do, whatever those paper thing is.
Yes, just like you would in a book. So do you have any examples that you might have in the library? You do?
We have lots of picture books. We actually pulled just a couple of the Three Little. This is actually one of the illustrated classics of the Three Little Pigs, and it actually portrays the pigs looking like what we would expect a pig to look like. But I know, like for instance, that if we look at the Disney version, they are more like a cartoon-looking pig. Pigs don't actually look like this.
Okay.
But this is how the illustrator chose to portray it. So, but as it goes through the story, you'll see, I want to find a good page for you, that the story, like we can tell from this story, this must be the pig building his house out of what? Straw. So see how something that is going on in the story, so when we go to when we look, and here's the pig with his house built out of straw. So the pictures actually represent the part of the story that it's talking about.
Yeah.
Shay, does that make sense now to you too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your pictures actually are about what your story is actually saying on that page. And this is the one who built his house out of what? Can we tell?
Wood.
Wood or stick. sticks, absolutely. So we can see that the picture actually illustrates what it's about. And then we have the one pig that built his house out of bricks. Where's my bricks? It's not, I was trying to find a really good, you can kind of see the bricks in the background. They show the building. But when we were talking about how the three met as a team, there's actually a picture of them. Here's the three of them working as a team inside this book.
Can you lower it some? Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
The point is that your illustrations go with whatever part of your story you're drawing the picture on.
Oh, yeah. Do y'all get it? Do y'all understand? Okay. Very good. Well, thank you, Miss Hughes.
You're quite welcome. I will see you guys in class tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. What's your Bye.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Pause.
Yeah.